we are doing cassava production, we have added more addition from cassava. Cassava, we get cassava flour. So from cassava flour, we have started training the youth how to make cakes, how to make daddies, how to make many products, as you will so in it.
As we saw, I peeled the cassava. After peeling the cassava, I washed it. After washing it, put it on one of the carveras to dry it up for grating. Now I am going to grate it to be able to put it in a solar dryer. This is our grater and this is how we do it. Grate it into small pieces to enable us dry it easily in the solar dryer. It is something so easy, anyone can do this. As you can see, our grated cassava is white and clean. This is because we first had to wash it, then grate it, so as to have pure white flour when it is. This kind of grater is cheap. Here in Uganda it goes for about 10,000 shillings. It's very cheap. It can be afforded. So that's why we advise our farmers, instead of using the knife, we preferably would use a grater to do this, because it's easy and faster. It's not time consuming and user friendly. So we're putting it on the trays for drying. As you can see, it's very soft. You may actually think it's cabbage, but this is cassava. This will enable it to dry very fast because it's very small. The pieces are really small and it's easy to dry. So we spread out to give it enough.
I'm Nampo Joanta. Today we are looking at how to training manual for cassava value addition. We have gotten some of the materials that we have to use. And number one, under our materials, we shall use cassava flour. Second, we are going to use the baking flour. We shall use margarine. We shall use the icing sugar. It will be used to ice our cake. Number 5, we are going to use the cooking oil. Number 6, we are looking at the baking powder, cinnamon. We are going to use the lemon. We shall use the oranges, and these are the oranges. We shall use vinegar. We shall have sugar. We shall use eggs. We shall use ginger. We shall use salt. We shall use flavoring incense, which is strawberry, as in the flavor. We shall use firewood. We shall use the briquettes. Those are some of the materials that we are going to use for today to come up with a different cassava value addition products. Still, we have some equipment that we shall need to come up with our final products. Equipment number 1, we are having the baking tins. Number 2, we have the grater. Number 3, we have the rolling pins. Number 4, we have the ovens. Number 5, we have the baking trays. We have the knives, mixing bowls. We have the mingling stick. Those are some of the equipment that we shall need together with the materials to come up with our final products. And some of our final products that we are targeting to get today, we have the cakes, we have the cookies together with the daddies.
I'm Rose Namkasa, the trainer for all these young ladies here, our youth here in Mukono. We are starting on the process. We are going to make cream cakes, we are going to bake, and depending on the various ingredients we are going to, that have been already notified to you. So we are starting with margarine, that is the fat, whereby we have 1 kilogram of fat. So we can put it all in our bowl. Next, we are going to mix the fat together with sugar. So we are going to use the same ratio, 50%. So as we mix, this cup I'm using, 3 cups can make 1 kilo. We are mixing sugar with the fat or the margarine so that it turns creamy. That is the beginning of our baking process. As we proceed, the mixture of the fat and the sugar is going to now be done, and it takes around 20 minutes. Then after that, now we are going to the next item, whereby now we need to put the eggs. We are going to use 4 eggs for this particular ingredient. In this process, we add 1 egg one by one. We stir. Until when the first egg is dissolved into the mixture, then we are adding the second egg in the same process. Now we are going to add our milk, half a liter, cup of milk. So this will also help us to dissolve the sugar. In the process, we are going to add our cassava flour, 1 kilo of cassava flour. Cups make a kilo of cassava flour. So this is our wheat. These are 2 kilos of wheat, which are going to mix in our dough. We mix it together with the cassava flour. We also add our baking powder. We mix them together. In the process of mixing the flour, where we mix the cassava flour, we mix the wheat flour, 2 kilograms, then we add 4 tablespoons of baking powder. So since the dough is ready, now we are going to mix the flour and the dough. Then we are going to do the folding of the mixture. So we pour a little flour. At first, we put milk, which was half a liter. But since we added an extra kilo of cassava, the dough has now become a bit hard, so we are adding some more milk so that we soften it a bit. Now, when you want to confirm whether the mixture is okay as of now, this is what we do. Now that it falls off, that means that it's now ready and soft enough. So now we are adding the flavors. This is strawberry. And it's like improving on the taste of your cake. The process, we put 4 covers of the vanilla, strawberry and essence. Now we are adding some cinnamon, just a little bit. You don't do it a lot. So it's in the process, it's your choice to use on the flavors you want, of your own choice. So now we are adding the lemon by grating it. As we use the lemon, at times you can decide to use either the peelings or you can cut and use the juice in the lemon itself to also act as the same, and it will give you the same flavor. Still it remains as a lemon. That's enough.
As we are mixing the mixture of the cake, some people prefer using the whisk, but for now, for us, we didn't have the whisk. We prefer to use the mingling stick. But they all do the same work.
This is our final mixture, having mixed the different ingredients just as they were explained earlier on.
And now we are going to bake. We are going to divide this mixture into different baking tins. Our cake is baked at 180 degrees Celsius and for 30 to 45 minutes.
Now we are preparing to take our cakes to the oven. But before that, before we put the dough into the baking tins, we grease the tins first. The reason being that we don't want our cakes to get stuck in the tins when they are ready. That's why we grease. That oil helps it to come out smoothly when you're removing it at the end when it's ready. Now we are preparing our dough for the cake so that we take it to the oven. As we put it in the baking tins, we are putting 1 tablespoon, as long as it does not go beyond the tin. You have to leave some space for it to raise.
We put the mixture according to the size of the baking tin you have. Since for us we have the small tin, so we shall just put the halfway so that to leave another space for raising.
Now we are putting our cakes in the oven, ready for baking. This will take around 30 to 45 minutes.
by the names of Nampo Joanta, and right now I'm going to ice our cake that we made. So now I'll start with cutting out the my board. Now I'm going to use this kind of a board where my cake will sit. So now I'm done with cutting out my board. So I'm going to wrap this board with a foil paper. So the next step is, it's now icing, but since I'm going to use the chocolate miller, I will first heat the chocolate with the milk, which is here. You pour in milk and then you heat to form a liquid. We are forming the chocolate miller, whereby this chocolate will melt and then mix up with the milk. We are going to mix the raw icing, the icing sugar plus the egg white, so that to form the icing liquid that will be applied on our cake.
Okay, as we are making the royal icing, we first had the egg whites. Then we are going to put in some little lemon juice so as to cool the scent of the egg.
I'm done with melting our chocolate with the milk. So now we are going to just apply it on top of the cake. Okay. And then this kind of icing of the chocolate can be iced in different ways. It can be used to ice the small cakes, whereby you just dip in the cake and then bring it out when it's done, when it's like this. So then, since it's called chocolate miller, so we are going to just put on top of our cake. So when this chocolate miller gets dry on the cake, this is how the queen cake will look like. It will be shining because we place little milk in this chocolate. Chocolate is more than milk.
Having mixed the egg white with the lemon, we said that we mixed the lemon juice to kill the scent of the egg. So now we are putting in some little icing sugar till when we find that it has solidified, in order for us to go ahead and add on the royal icing onto the chocolate icing.
So now our royal icing is done. So we are going to use this royal icing for writing on top. And when this one is dry, we shall just use the royal icing that we have made to make some writing, to make some decorations on top of our cake. So now we are done with our icing. This is how they ice a queen cake, and this is how they ice a big cake using chocolate mirror and royal icing. I'm Napo Joanta, and I was part of this training. So in this training, we carried out different types of cakes, whereby we have a big cake, we have queen cakes. Since our main aim was about the cassava flour, during its process, we had 50% of the cassava flour, and the 50% was for other ingredients. We creamed our butter with sugar, and then we added in the mixture of cassava flour, wheat flour and baking powder, and then after we added in our eggs and the flavors of our choice. And so we came up with a big cake. We came up with queen cakes and these cakes. So during this training, I picked my interest mostly in cakes, whereby I realized that you can use more cassava flour than wheat flour, which is expensive. So now I would like to encourage youths outside there that they should come and join such trainings, because we can acquire more skills and gain more profits in these small skills.
We are going to make daddies. The ingredients for making daddies, we are going to use blue band, 150 grams. We shall put half a kilo of sugar. Then we shall include 1 kilogram of flour, wheat flour, and we shall put 3 kilos of cassava flour. Then we shall add the baking powder, then the flavors. So, for the start, we are going to put half a kilo of sugar. That's half a kilo of sugar. Add a small pinch of salt, very little. We are going to use 3 kilograms of cassava flour, and since we are using our cup, 3 kilograms, it will mean that these are 9 cups, which will make the 3 kilograms of cassava flour. Grams of cassava flour. So we are going to add the wheat flour, whereby we are going to use 1 kilogram of wheat flour. Four tablespoons of baking powder. We are adding some eggs. 3 eggs will be enough.
We had ginger as one of the ingredients we had to use. Instead of us putting it the way it was, we had to first pound it to come up with a ginger juice that we are going to mix into our mixture that is going to make our daddies. Now this is our ginger. Having pounded it very well, we have now brought it for boiling. We want it to boil for a little while. Then we are going to remove the water out of the ginger. That is what we are going to use to mix into our mixture to come up with the daddies. We need the flavor from the ginger.
So this is the ginger which was prepared, which is also going to work as a flavor. So we've used the natural one. So we're going to add a little bit of it so that we get the ginger flavor of our daddies. We're also going to add other flavors which we are adding now. This time we are going to use the lemon juice. We are adding some strawberry as also another flavor. And this powdered cinnamon. We are also adding an orange, which is also another flavor. The lemon also acts as a preservative. It works as a flavor at the same time as a preservative. In the case of the lemon. We're also going to put some little vinegar, like 1 cover. This will also help us to make sure we get the daddies when they are a bit soft. We are going to add some milk to get the duff of the daddies. We're also adding some water. In the case of the daddies, the duff has to be a bit hard, not very soft. So you add a little water until when it gets to the level when you want it, although you want it to appear. This is what you should do. We are adding this cooking oil to make sure that also the daddies are not so hard and not very soft. So we add very, very little cooking oil. These are like 3 covers. To know that the dough is ready, you should not get stuck on your hands and at the same time even the container you're using. The way it appears now here.
Having come up with the mixture, you go ahead to knead your mixture, a part of it, into small pieces. After kneading, you use the pin to roll it out, just as we are doing. We are rolling. After rolling, you come up with your desired size that will be easy to be ready when you're cooking. So we go ahead to cut into any desired shape of your choice. So we are going to cut down into small pieces in order to come up with such pieces. You cut like this, you remove, then we cut into small particles that are going to be ready for eating.
Hello, my name is Phyllis. This is the process of packaging. We are done with making our daddies. So now we are packaging, we're putting all of them in the conveyors, then we'll start separating each depending on the price we would want to make them at.
We are using these polythene bags as our packaging materials. Then in the process, we shall have to bind them using the candle. Why we use the candle? Because we don't have enough funds to buy the impulse sealers. But with time, we shall be changing from the candle to an impulse sealer. This is the process we are going through. We do the sealing at both ends so that they don't fall out.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Negesa. I've gone through this training and I've learned to make so many products, but one that made me pick my interest was daddies. I think making daddies is a bit easy and cheaper because when you look at the process as we're making daddies, we used very little wheat flour and used most of the cassava. Now with daddies, why I prefer daddies is because I am able to make this even indoors as we are going through this period of COVID-19, there's quarantine. I am able to do it in my house and take to a shop because shops right now are open. We can be able to sell them to customers easily. We used 3 kilograms of cassava flour and then we added a little wheat, which was about 1 kilogram. So with this, it becomes very cheap in that when you look at right now on the market, wheat is a bit expensive. It goes for 5,000. And when we look at cassava, a kilo is about 1,200. So it's a bit cheaper to make. At the end of the day, you make more profits than someone who has used only wheat. And then another thing, what I would love to encourage the youths to join this kind of thing, come for the training. It's good because you will not need to look for a job. It's already there. When you're done with this, you're good to go. You can start your own thing and run. Hello, my name is Phyllis. Next, we are making cookies. And in the process of making cookies, we'll be using 250 grams of blueband and 3/4 of sugar. 3/4 full of a cup. Then we have 250 grams of blueband.
And so now we are going to cream our butter with sugar. So now we first mixed up our sugar with the fat, then we formed this because it's supposed to be creamy. Then after we added in 1 egg. It's supposed to be 1 egg for the cookies. So now we are going to mix our cassava flour. We are using 1/2 kilo. We are adding in this wheat flour, which is a kilo, so this is half of it. So now we are putting all of it. As we mix it together with the cassava flour, then we add in the baking powder. You just put only 1 spoon and that's enough because these are cookies. You don't need them to raise too much. So now after mixing the cassava flour, wheat flour plus the baking powder, we are going to add it here in this mixture. So now, since it's no longer being able to mix it with a mingling stick, we are going to just use hands. So now, after rubbing in our flour, you add in a pinch of salt, since they are cookies, and then after putting in the salt, we add in the milk. We add in half a liter of milk. So now I'm getting off our dough from the basin. I put it on the surface for it to be easier for me to knead. We are going to add in our flavors, which is, we have cinnamon plus the strawberry. This is cinnamon, we put a little, then plus our incense, which is strawberry, and then we knead so that it can mix throughout the dough. So now we are going to grate in some lemon, but not much. As we are kneading the dough, as we added in our flavors, we had the cinnamon, we had the strawberry incense, and even we added some grated lemon, which is also a flavor as well as a preservative. So now, as you see, my hands are free from flour, so even down, it's not sticking from the surface. So now we are now ready to get our rolling pin, and then we roll it and make our desired shapes for the cookies. So now, after making our dough, it's ready to cut out the cookies. So now there she's greasing the tray so that we can put our cookies there for baking. So now we get one by one as we put on the baking tray, and they're supposed to be in line but not too close to each other.
And by the names of Natural Stella, having gone through the entire training that we have been having, this is the product that interested me most. I've gotten a lot of interest in the cookies, and I think, as per the moment, I am good to begin up a selling project that deals in cookies. Let me help you go through the procedures that we went through to come up with this final product. We used fat and we mixed it together with sugar. We included cassava flour together with a baking flour. We pounded it very well using our hands, and we went ahead to use our baking tins to come up with the different shapes that we desired, and these were the shapes that we desired. From there, we went in for the baking process, and we went into the oven. We baked our cookies for something like 20 minutes at 120 degrees Celsius. From the training that we have gone through, I've acquired a lot of skills, just as you can see from the different products that we have come up with. Due to a lot of unemployment within our country and within all the African countries, right now I am in position to be innovative enough and creative in order for me to start up my own project. Due to the skills I have acquired from this project, I can begin up the selling of cookies, making of daddies, together with cakes from the cassava flour. I have been ignorant enough not knowing that cassava flour can come up with such products. I used to know that it's only baking flour that can make these products, but as per the moment, I can witness that cassava flour is also another ingredient that can be used to come up with such products. Thank you very much. I remain Stella, Uganda.
Now we are starting on the preparation of the briquettes, which we are going to make out of charcoal dust. We are going to use also the ant-hill soil, and we are also going to use the ash together with the cassava flour. These briquettes, we use them as an energy saver. Instead of using a lot of charcoal, we use these briquettes to reduce on the charcoal, which will cut down on the cost of the charcoal we use on a daily basis. So we are using this cassava, which we are preparing now in form of porridge, to work as the binder. This binder is the one we use to bind the briquettes, whereby when we mix it with the charcoal dust, we mix with the soil and the ash, then we bind them together using cassava, since it has starch in it and it works as a binder. So now we are boiling, we are cooking the porridge, cassava porridge, which we are going to use as the binder. First cook it, when it comes ready, then we use it to do the binding of the making of the charcoal briquettes. So this is our porridge, which we are going to use. The moment it becomes sticky, then it's ready for use. So it means it is ready for use. Now, at the beginning, you have to remove the big particles from the soil, from the ash, and from the dust. So we sieve the charcoal dust, we sieve the soil, we sieve the ash. Remove those big particles so that we get powder. As we start on making the charcoal briquettes, we are going to use the charcoal dust, and we are going to use these plates, which will help us carry out the measurements. So we expect to use 5 plates of charcoal dust, 1 plate of the soil, and 2 plates for the ash. Then we are going to mix with our cassava porridge, which works as the binder. We are going to use 5 plates of the charcoal dust. 2 plates. So any container you use, those are the ratios. This ash we are using the cassava peelings, which have been dried, and the cassava stems, the leaves. So we dry them, then after drying them, we burn them to get the ash. That cassava ash is the one we are using to make the briquette. So most of the materials here we use are cassava. who has been training the whole group. We've been undertaking the training to find the values and get products out of cassava. Most people don't know the purpose of cassava. They only know cassava as a food item, and they don't know the values of cassava, the different products which you can get out of cassava. So for this time we trained a group of the youth who are coming out to make some products like cakes, queen cakes, daddies, and the cookies, plus these briquettes. We made briquettes from cassava stem, dried ones, cassava peelings, dried also, and after drying them we burn them and we get the ash. This ash, we use it to make these charcoal briquettes. So the different items for charcoal briquettes, we use those cassava items, we use the charcoal dust, we use also the soil, that one from the anthill. So at the same time, we use the cassava flour to prepare the porridge which works as the binder when we are making these briquettes. So cassava plays a big role in different items. Currently we made these charcoal briquettes which are going to act as energy savers. Currently, these charcoal briquettes are also of an advantage that you can sell them out to other people. Most people don't know the value, they don't know how to use these charcoal briquettes. But now, most people have learned that we can get briquettes from cassava. I have trained these youth to make these briquettes the way they appear here. And now we are using them as our energy savers for cooking and cutting on the costs, and by also controlling our environment. Instead of destroying the forest to get charcoal, we are using cassava wastes to get the charcoal.
As you have seen the entire process, what we have gone through to come up with all these final products that you are seeing in front of us, with an interest of creating more employment opportunities to the youth, I encourage my fellow youth to come and join such training so as you acquire more skills, knowledge, in order for you to begin up such projects. To the educated, stop looking for jobs. Having you acquired such skills, you can be in position to create your own job instead of you moving street to street throughout the entire Africa looking for a job. You can begin up your own project with cheaper costs, that is little capital, to start up a business, having acquired knowledge just as we have acquired it from our instructor of that day. Great thanks goes to the team leader, that is Mr. Sekade Peter, for the knowledge, the initiatives, the efforts put in together with our instructor, who has impacted a lot of skills, knowledge into our minds.
What I'm advising to the youth who are unemployed especially, the cassava we are using now is cheaper. The trainings, we are undertaking them. Whoever wants to be trained, you're welcome. We shall train you. And after training you, you get to know the value of cassava by making different products. As we've trained these youth, they are now very innovative. They know what to do. And this is a job creation system whereby you can go out and work on your own.